In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Welcome to the Recap Vault. Today we're revisiting one of the most thought-provoking films of the late 1990s, The Truman Show, 1998, directed by Peter Weir and starring Jim Carrey in a performance that changed how audiences saw him forever. Before reality television took over every channel and social media made privacy obsolete, this movie asked a terrifying question. What if your entire life was a lie? Scripted, filmed, and broadcast for the world to see without you ever knowing. When The Truman Show hit theaters in 1998, it wasn't just entertainment. It was a mirror. Critics called it a philosophical warning disguised as a comedy. It mixed humor, tragedy, and paranoia into something audiences couldn't shake off. Jim Carrey, known then for his slapstick roles, gave a career-defining performance. Gone was the manic comedian. In his place was a man discovering the cracks in his own reality. The film opens like a television broadcast. Interviews with cast and crew describe their love for the show. The Truman Show, the longest-running reality program in history, airing 24/7 and watched by billions. Except the star doesn't know he's in it. That star is Truman Burbank, an ordinary man living in the seaside town of Sea Haven. He's cheerful, polite, and unfailingly optimistic. His neighbors greet him every morning. His wife Meryl is always smiling, and his best friend Marlin is always there with a six-pack of beer and advice that sounds rehearsed. To the world watching, Truman is a symbol of innocence, the perfect man in the perfect town. But to us, he's something else entirely. A prisoner inside a television set the size of a city. Everything he's ever known is fake. His job, his relationships, even his memories. Sea Haven isn't a town. It's a massive dome with cameras hidden in every wall, every mirror, every face. High above this artificial world sits Christoph, the show's creator, a man who literally plays God, controlling the sun, the weather, and Truman's entire fate from a lunar-shaped control room. Peter Weir designed Sea Haven as a glossy 1950s postcard, every smile and pastel color masking something sinister. It's not dystopia through darkness, but through comfort, the beginning of doubt. Truman's life follows a perfect rhythm. He wakes up, waves to his neighbors, goes to work at an insurance office, and greets everyone with his signature line, "Good morning, and in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night." To him, it's just life. To everyone else, it's television. But recently, the illusion has started to crack. One morning, a studio light falls from the sky, crashing into the street. Truman picks it up. It's labeled Sirius 9, Canis Major, a star. He's told it was part of an airplane, but something in him stirs. Later, while driving to work, he notices strange patterns. The same people crossing the street, the same cars circling the block. A radio glitch accidentally plays the crew's communication feed. Okay, he's making a left turn. Cue the man with the flowers. Truman freezes. The world suddenly doesn't feel right anymore. He starts questioning Meryl, his wife, her constant product placements, advertising cocoa and kitchen appliances mid-conversation. Feel off. She brushes him off, but Truman's smile fades. Something is deeply wrong. Then one day, he sees him. His father. Truman's dad supposedly died years ago in a boating accident, an event that traumatized him and made him afraid of water. But now, standing in the crowd, Truman spots him, older, disheveled, before security rushes in and drags the man away. Everyone tells him he imagined, but now he's sure people are lying to him. Truman's world isn't just artificial, it's curated fear. Christoph uses trauma to keep him in place, showing how control doesn't always need walls. Sometimes, it just needs the right story. Truman's mind races back to college, to the only woman who ever tried to tell him the truth. Her name was Lauren, though her real name was Sylvia. She was an extra on the show who broke character to warn him. "Everyone's pretending," she whispered. "It's all fake." Before she could explain, men dragged her away, shouting that she was being taken to Fiji. Ever since, Truman has been obsessed with the idea of Fiji, furthest place he can imagine. In his heart, it's freedom. But every time he tries to leave, something stops him. A traffic jam, a fire, even a nuclear power plant accident. Coincidence or design? He begins testing people, changing his route, greeting strangers at odd times, watching them panic when he does something unexpected. He's no longer living his life, he's investigating it. At work, he cuts out travel photos and stares at them like road maps to a different world. At home, he tells Meryl they should take a spontaneous trip to Fiji. She laughs nervously. There's no script for that. When they get in the car, the radio warns of wildfires blocking the highway. Truman doesn't buy it. He drives straight through the flames, which turn out to be smoke machines. Panicked, Meryl begs him to stop. Truman speeds toward the bridge, the only way off Sea Haven, but freezes when they hit open water. The childhood trauma kicks in. His hands tremble, his breathing tightens. He can't cross. Meryl plays comforting wife, but the performance breaks. Her smile cracks. Her voice shakes. Finally, cornered by his accusations, she snaps. "Do something!" She yells the words of an actress who's lost her cue. Truman stares at her, realization dawning. "Who are you talking to?" He grabs her wrist. She screams, and seconds later, a door bursts open. A man in a headset rushes in. Off script, Truman stumbles back, terrified. Meryl is escorted away, and the illusion finally fractures. Truman's world starts to collapse. Christoph sends Marlon, Truman's lifelong best friend, to smooth things over under the glow of a false moon. They sit together. Marlon delivers the lines Christoph feeds into his ear. "If everyone was in on it, don't you think I'd be in on it too?" Truman listens quietly, his eyes no longer trust. And then Christoph pulls his masterstroke. He brings Truman's dead father back, staging an emotional reunion that melts the world's hearts. To the audience, it's touching. To Truman, it's confusion and guilt, a distraction just convincing enough to delay his awakening. Christoph believes he's regained control, but Truman has already changed. Late at night, he starts disappearing, hiding in his basement, sleeping less, moving strangely, until one day, he's gone. The cameras can't find him. Christoph panics. For the first time in 30 years, the show has lost its star. He orders a citywide search. Streets are flooded with actors pretending to look for him, but no one can find a trace. And then, a crew member spots something on the open water. A small sailboat cutting across the artificial sea. Truman is sailing away. Truman's sail into the storm is the film's spiritual core. Man versus creator. Faith versus control. It's not rebellion for chaos. It's rebellion for truth. Christoph orders a storm, rain, thunder, crashing wave, desperate to force him back. But Truman clings to the mast, shouting into the heavens, "Is that the best you can do?" Christoph whispers, "He was born on camera. He'll die on camera." The storm intensified, but Truman doesn't stop. His sailboat crests one last wave, and the storm suddenly halts. The sea turns flat. Quiet. He looks ahead and his boat crashes into something solid. It's the wall of the dome, the edge of his world. He touches it, stunned. The sky is painted beyond it. A staircase leads up to a small door marked exit. Then a voice fills the air. "Truman, it's Christoph." Speaking directly to him for the first time. "I am the creator," he says, "of a television show that gives hope and joy and inspiration to millions." Truman listens, torn between fear and disbelief. Christoph tries one last manipulation. "There's no more truth out there than there is in the world I created for you. The same lie, the same pain, but in my world, you have nothing to fear." Truman smiles faintly for the first time. He knows who he is, and who he isn't. He looks toward the camera and says, "In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night." He bows, opens the door, and walks out. The feed cuts to static. As the static fades, the audience that has followed Truman his entire life sits frozen. For decades, they've watched him eat breakfast, commute to work, fall in love, grieve and dream, all without knowing him at all. Now, they're watching something new. A man stepping beyond the edge of their entertainment. And then, like viewers flipping channels after a show ends, they move on, unaware that they've just witnessed one of the most profound acts of freedom ever captured on film. In the control room, Christoph sits alone. The man who built a world from illusion has lost his creation. Around him, the massive dome lights dim, one by one, a false sky fading to darkness. Truman's escape marks one of cinema's most poetic endings. A man born inside an artificial paradise, choosing the unknown over certainty. It's not a leap toward safety, it's a leap toward truth. When The Truman Show premiered in 1998, audiences thought it was science fiction. Today, it feels eerily familiar. Its central idea, life as spectacle, has become our reality. We document every meal, every thought, every milestone for invisible audiences. The line between authenticity and performance has almost vanished, just as it did for Truman. Director Peter Weir wasn't predicting technology. He was warning about attention, how we crave being seen, more than we crave being real. In Sea Haven, perfection is an anesthetic. No pain, no unpredictability, no choice. Just a script that promises happiness at the cost of humanity. Jim Carrey's performance turned that concept into something heartbreakingly human. Known for his elastic comedy, he stripped it all away here. Every grin replaced by confusion. Every gesture charged with subtle desperation. His portrayal of Truman made the film's theme universal. The pain of realizing your world isn't what you thought it was. The Truman Show arrived before the age of reality television, yet it anticipated the rise of the camera-obsessed world, from Big Brother to social media influencers. It showed us the danger of mistaking attention for affection. Beyond its eerie foresight, the film stands out because it's not cynical. It doesn't condemn Truman's innocence, it celebrates it. Even when the truth shatters him, he faces it with humility. He doesn't destroy the world or curse his captors. He simply leaves. That quiet defiance, choosing authenticity over comfort, became one of cinema's most memorable exits. Truman's story ends not in violence or victory, but with a simple step forward. It's an ending that feels small in scale, yet infinite in meaning. The movie also exposed the paradox of modern empathy. Around the world, viewers in the film cry for Truman's freedom while still watching his suffering for entertainment. It's a mirror for us. And we empathize. But we never stop watching. Christoph, in his godlike control, embodies every system that tells people who to be and how to live. Governments, corporations, even media itself. His love for Truman is genuine but possessive. He insists he knows what's best, blind to the cruelty of his own control. In one scene, he calls Truman safe inside Sea Haven, claiming the real world is no different. That single idea defines the film's warning. Comfort can become the most dangerous form of imprisonment. Peter Weir and writer Andrew Niccol built every detail around that theme. The dome's artificial lighting, its painted skies, the pristine suburb, all reflect the seductive perfection that makes people forget they're trapped. It's not dystopia through fear, but through familiarity. That was The Truman Show, 1998, a story about illusion, awakening, and the courage to walk beyond the edge of certainty. It remains one of the most haunting and prophetic films ever made. Not just for what it predicted, but for what it revealed about us. Our hunger to watch, our fear to act, and our longing to be seen as more than a role. If you enjoyed this recap, subscribe to the Recap Vault, your shortcut to the movies that shaped pop culture.